What if I told you that death isn't the end, but rather a doorway to something far beyond anything you've ever imagined? What if you could leave your body behind and experience a world you never knew existed? Meet Alex, a man who faced death and came back with answers that changed everything. His story isn't just about life after death, it's about discovering the very essence of existence. Prepare yourself to step into a journey where life, death, and the supernatural collide. It was a crisp autumn evening in London when Alex, a 32-year-old software engineer, found himself racing through the dark streets of the city. He was heading to a friend's party, but his mind was elsewhere, stressed from work, overwhelmed by life's endless demands. He didn't know it then, but his life was about to change forever. Alex was crossing one of London's busiest intersections when a speeding car suddenly swerved into his lane. The screeching tires filled the air as the car came straight toward him. He had barely a second to react. In that split moment, everything seemed to slow down. The world became eerily silent. He saw the headlights, felt a rush of cold air, and then nothing. The next thing Alex knew, he was floating. His body lay still on the cold pavement, but he was no longer inside it. He was above, watching as paramedics rushed to his side. His heart had stopped beating, his body lifeless. Yet he felt completely aware, as if he had awakened in another realm. For a moment, Alex couldn't comprehend what was happening. He looked around, and instead of the chaotic London street, he was surrounded by a serene and ethereal light. The air was thick with a soft glow, and the ground beneath him felt like it wasn't even there. He was suspended, weightless. He noticed other figures around him, people who looked both familiar and foreign, all drifting in and out of sight. "Where am I?" Alex whispered to himself, but his voice didn't come from his body. It seemed to come from everywhere, echoing in the vast space he now inhabited. A gentle, calming voice suddenly answered, "You're in between. This is the space between worlds." The voice didn't have a body, yet Alex could feel its warmth, its kindness. The words resonated deep within him, as though they were coming from a place beyond time and space. "What happens now?" Alex asked, his heart heavy with uncertainty. "You must choose," the voice responded. "Will you return to your life or continue on to the next?" Alex felt the weight of the decision pressing down on him. His mind raced with thoughts of his family, his friends, the life he had left behind. But there was something inside him, something that wanted to understand what lay ahead. What was this place? What was afterlife? Was there more to existence than what he had experienced on Earth? As he floated in this surreal space, Alex saw a figure approaching, a man wearing a long cloak that shimmered like the stars. He walked slowly, his face unreadable, yet Alex felt drawn to him. The man reached out his hand. "Do you wish to see?" the figure asked, his voice soft but commanding. Without thinking, Alex nodded. In that instant, he was shown flashes of other realms, other dimensions. A kaleidoscope of images, sounds, and emotions so powerful that it took his breath away. He saw memories he didn't recognize as his own, flashes of moments from past lives, and glimpses of future events that had yet to unfold. He saw the world not just as a place of matter, but as a vast interconnected network of energy. He saw how everything was tied together, every thought, every action, every being. It was as if time itself was an illusion, and everything that had ever happened or would happen was happening all at once. He could feel the weight of existence itself, the beauty and the sorrow that came with it. But then, just as quickly, the visions faded, and Alex was left standing in front of the cloaked figure, now holding his hand. "Your journey isn't finished yet," the figure said, "but remember, you are part of something much bigger. Life and death are not separate, they are one." With that, Alex was pulled back, his consciousness rushing through space and time. He felt his body again, heavy and real, and the first breath he took was like a rebirth. He gasped for air, eyes wide open, and found himself lying on the pavement once more, surrounded by paramedics. But something had changed. Alex's eyes were different now, sharper, as though he had seen beyond the veil of reality. His heart, once burdened by life's struggles, now felt light. He had touched something beyond himself, and it had shifted the very core of his being. He didn't just survive that night, he was reborn with a new purpose. Life, as he now knew it, was far more than just a series of random events. It was a journey, a cycle, an eternal dance of energy, and Alex was no longer afraid of what lay ahead. He had seen the other side and returned, ready to live his life with a deeper understanding of the universe's mysteries. Could this experience be a glimpse into what awaits us all after death? What if death isn't the end, but merely a transition to something greater? As Alex learned, life is far more than just what we see in the physical world. The true nature of our existence is something vast, something connected, and it's waiting for us to understand it. The question is, are you ready to discover what lies beyond?